this is Sirbot, and today I'm with Mutant fighting Queebup and Mloy on
New objective.
Myoland map. And yeah. As you see, 3 barracks, since there's a lot of entrances on this map. You have to go over this hill, down through this area, as well as through the middle. And you'll see I actually get mostly a lot of the containers this way. And I'm able to grab this one as well as like this one over here, I believe. And so I'm actually going to be really fast in this game. As you see, I actually already have enough for HQ3 and HQ4. And it's 3 minutes into the game, but instead I decided to build 2 supply centers and then wait for HQ4. There you go. And over here, Mutant is also going for more of a ground type of game, and in a second here I'm going to tell him to go for Avia, because on a map like this I like to know what the enemy is doing. And Mutant was actually lagging here a little bit, so he might be a little bit slow this game. As you saw, Vertex there, it was actually from the green player, and he is actually attacking this here. So yeah, he actually retreats. And we'll see, I have this chameleon up here, and I decide to move up onto the hill, basically. And here is where I realized that this is going to be an annoying game. A construction yard right here, which definitely means he is going to spam walls over here and here. And so I'm not going to be able to break into his base with units, really. So yeah, walls. As you'll see, I just basically destroy, I'm trying to break through the walls a little bit. And Mutant actually sent a scout up here. And as you see, this guy is going for full ground, basically a full camping build. And this guy down here is going for Avia and Zeus, as well as some infantry. You'll see me just attacking the walls, force firing directly on them so that I don't have to retarget each wall every single time. And so yeah. As you'll see, I just keep doing that this game. The green player destroys this vehicle factory right here. And since I don't have enough anti-air to stop him, I decide to build more anti-air in case he tries to do something like that again. And his torrents are actually getting really close to my army, and so I decide to retreat this a little bit. As you see, I have a pretty decent force, and I was basically just force firing on the walls to waste his resources. And as you'll see, Mutant is actually destroying those torrents, and I am moving down. But I see this construction yard right here, and so because of this, I actually decide to move down to the green player's base since he's not wall spamming. I actually might be able to make it through his base. So yeah. You'll see here though that he gets to the point of having a construction yard there, and so he also wall spams here, and I'm not able to break through. As you'll see, I target the construction yard so that he can stop spamming those walls. But my chameleon over here ran out of energy, and I didn't move this chameleon over to help soon enough. And so this army is pretty much, it stands no chance of making it through. And this blue player actually decides to attack me. I move my units back a little bit, and I turn on my chameleon here. And you'll see that Mutant actually sends his hawks out to help me. And Mutant is also on this hill. So yeah.
Target smashed.
As you'll see, these fuses really aren't going to be able to do much damage at all. And so, really, they're more of like a nuisance force, something just to annoy me. So yeah. You'll see me start to build up my numbers up here, and as you see, they're literally just spamming walls all over. As you'll see, this is actually a construction yard, and this guy's planning to spam walls here as well, in this general area. And so I decide, since they want to spam walls, I'll just basically do something similar, but better. Since in this encounter right here, he is the only one losing, or he is really basically the only one losing resources. I retreat my units a little bit, and as you see, I'm just force firing directly onto the walls that keep being rebuilt. And so every single time he keeps rebuilding those walls, he is losing more and more resources. And so really, this is favorable for me. As you see, I'm going for HQ5, and since he wants to keep spamming these walls here, I just decide to keep breaking them and wasting his resources so that he can't go for a space strike. As you see, this guy is pretty dense. He doesn't really catch onto this. I also moved my other force that I had built down here, and I am just destroying more walls. As you see, this guy has to build walls everywhere, and because of this, he's not really focused. He's not really focused on the resources that he's spending and the time that he's giving me. As you see, my HQ5 is already done, and Mutant is actually doing the exact same thing over here. He's just force firing directly onto the walls. And this is just still wasting the resources. As you see, I move my army over here down a little bit, and I continue to force fire on those walls. So, for some games, this could actually be a viable strategy where the enemy decides to get extremely smart and use walls, just wall spam completely. You can actually just continue to destroy their walls, and they can keep rebuilding them so that you can waste their resources. And that way you'll have the advantage in the fight. As you see, I'm going for a nuclear up here, and Mutant is actually moving down off the hill a little bit. But as you'll see in a second, this guy will probably spam walls again. Oh, Thors. So yeah. More walls up here when I tried to move down under the hill. And I actually tried to move around and force fire over here. Or just attack these walls down here to keep distracting them. As you'll see, this guy actually missed his Thor run up here, and so yeah. They still haven't found my nuclear, and Mutant is still distracting the green player decently. Those vertex killed my chameleon over here, and so I just retreated this force. I also retreated up here, just in case, since I am still going for nuclear. As you saw, more Thors. They tried to bomb Mutant's army, but they missed, and you'll actually see me attack these doors right here. And so, I wiped out most of his Avia. Probably all of the units, but not finishing off the buildings. And so you'll see here that my units are still, basically they're still fine. And this blue player has a shield and he's deciding to actually move, so I see these walls being destroyed. And so I basically form up. As you see, I'm making another nuclear, and yeah. I moved a few of my Jaguars forward a little bit so that I can kill those Torrents. And his army isn't able to make it through because of my formation mainly. And they destroyed my nuclear, but Mutant over here actually attacks the nuclear. And you'll see that he also built a nuke. And so he attacks the green player again. And so because of that, this guy's base is pretty much done for. It's going to be extremely hard to come back from 2 nuclears like that. But those Thors were still able to get rid of most of his army up here. And as you see, I still have this large force left, and I actually build more units because now it's impossible for them to stop us without with like those walls and units. So yeah. I tell him to fall back with this force right here, this small army that he had at the blue player's base, and to help himself defend, and I am going to attack the green player. As you see, I just basically run through his base, and the attack over here was cleaned up. That's the green player dead, and he actually sends a bunch of fortress and a shield. I think he was doing contracts over here, but the game is already over. So yeah, Mutant actually says another nuke on it, and I just charge him from the side. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching today. If you like the video, please hit the like button down below. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe. And thank you for watching. I hope you have a great day.